So I want to introduce you to one of the most common types of tags you're going to see on the web. Now, most of the tags we've covered so far are kind of tied to the type of content that we place in between them, right? So H1, when we use that, we're typically talking about the most important callout or header on a page. When we have an image tag, like the img tag here, with its source attribute, we're saying, okay, we need an image to show up on the page. So everything is kind of tied to the piece of content that we're actually outputting on the page. Now, one of the most common ones you're going to see is more of a general purpose tag, and it is called the division tag. And it looks just like this. You just have a simple div and then a closing tag. And what this allows us to do is by using this division tag, we can organize our page and create specific layouts. However, division tags usually work best with HTML's kind of sister language, CSS. And we'll explore how they're tied together, but we're going to use these special attributes called the ID attribute and the class attribute. And we'll be able to come up with our own little custom class names and ID names here as well. And we're going to use those to create the size of these divisions. We'll say, okay, we want, for example, a header section up here. So we'll create maybe a division to cover this entire dark blue portion here. And it's going to be fully wide, as wide as the screen goes. And we might have another division right here for this section right here, and then one for the form. So it's going to allow us to kind of box out our pages, and that's what's going to take us away from having to leave our pages looking like this, right? So HTML by default, without CSS and really without these division tags, it just kind of lines up on the left on a blank white page. And this is just kind of a static default look of a web page. But once we start using divisions, we'll be able to start placing things to the right, to the left, where we want, maybe center things. And we'll explore that more when we start looking at CSS. One more type of general purpose tag that you're going to see is the span tag. So again, it's a general purpose tag, and it allows you to maybe, the way I've usually seen it used is like you might have a span tag opening around the last word of a sentence, and we want to make this look maybe green and a totally different font. We'll be able to do that with CSS and using a span tag like this. And we could say, okay, we want it to be, green or something like that. And right now we're not going to see anything change when I refresh the page to this now word here. But with CSS and this kind of markup added to our HTML, we'll be able to do stuff like that. So that'll be really cool. And again, we'll take a look at that down the line. Now, besides the div tags, which are probably the most common HTML tags that you'll see that there are also header tags that are also kind of general purpose tags, and footer tags. And these are essentially just a little bit more descriptive division tags. They're kind of the same thing. And I don't want you to worry too much about those right now, but you may see them used in sites just to be a little bit more of a descriptive type of a division. And just to illustrate my point about the division tags being common, look at the Facebook page. If I right-click on it and click Inspect Element, this is a special tool that the Google Chrome browser gives us, you'll see that we can look at the actual HTML of this page that the browser generates or renders. And you can see here how often this division tag is used. It's the most used tag on this page by far. So again, we'll take a look at the division tag when we work with CSS.